Hey guys, this is going to be my February wrap-up and my March TBR, where I go through the books that I read in February and tell you really quickly what I thought of them, and then go through the books that I'm planning to read in March. I read 4 books in February, which is better than I thought it was going to be for a good portion of February. I really have not been able to read that much, so when I went and looked back, I was actually really surprised that there were 4. But of those 4, I think like at least 2 of them are not books that I had in my TBR last month, because the others are like review books, so I didn't really do such a good job at like reading books on my TBR, but I did read 4 books and I was impressed with that when I went back. Also though, the first of those 4 books I finished on February 1st, and I'm pretty sure I included in my January wrap-up, and I did remember, I didn't think I was going to remember, but I'm pretty sure I included it in my January wrap-up, so technically there are only 3 books that I haven't like shown already, but I'll just go over that again. It was The Perfect Outcast by Melissa Ott Hansen. I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. It's a dystopian. It had a lot of stuff. I reviewed it on my blog. It had a lot of stuff that I remember from like other dystopian books, so it was kind of familiar in a lot of ways, but I did really enjoy it, and I think if you like dystopian, then you'll like it. The next book that I finished in February, I started reading in January, and it took me forever, and that is The Catechism of the Catholic Church. I've mentioned this in like 3 of these in a row now, because I'm pretty sure, I mean, it was in my January TBR, and then it was in my February TBR, so yeah, because I've been reading it, I'm pretty sure I started it in January, and it took me at least half of February to get through it, but I mean, it's the Catechism of the Catholic Church, and very much like not easy reading, and just because there's so much. And I didn't rate this because I just don't know how I would rate this, but I feel accomplished that I finally finished it. The last 2 books that I read this month are both on my Kindle and were both review books. The first was Roseblood by Lilia I, which is the 3rd and last book in the Smothered Rose trilogy. I reviewed all of them like relatively recently. I'm really sorry for the noise outside. It's snowing, so they're shoveling snow, but yeah. Anyway, this is like a common thing in the winter, but what was I saying? Yeah, the first one was like a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and then as it went on, more and more fairy tales were incorporated. There's more than just Beauty and the Beast in the first one too, but it's become more and more prominent, like to have other fairy tales towards the end of the series, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I really liked it, and my review is up on my blog for all 3 books, so yeah. And then I read Groovy Cool Writing Techniques by Cinta Garcia de la Rosa, which is another book that I got for review. My review of it is actually going out today because the book comes out today. It'll be in the past when you see this video, but the day that I'm filming this video is March 1st is the day that I'm posting my review, because that's when it's being released. So she asked us to post today, so that's gonna go up in like probably immediately after I film this. I'm going to put it up, but I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I think that it's a really short, quick read, and I'm going to go over all this in my review. I've already written my review, I just have to post it, but it's a really short, quick read. It may not be something for people who have been writing a long time, but I could see if you want to like get into writing, it could have some good tips. But I talk more about that in my review. So those are the 4 books that I read in February. Not as much as I could have liked. I'm still 3 books behind on my Goodreads reading challenge, which is not where I want to be, but I've not been reading much lately. Hopefully with spring break in March, hopefully I can get a lot of reading done. On to my TBR. There are 2 books. There are 2 books that I'm reading right now that I'm in the middle of, and they're taking me forever. And then there are 3 other books that I'm going to add on to my TBR. The first one is Crossed by Ali Condi, which is the 2nd Match book. It's been about a year, at least nearly a year, since I read Match now. So I've been reading this I'm this far and I feel like I've been reading it for like, I'm pretty sure I finished it like, it's been more than a week and I'm only this far, which is really bad for me. But I'm liking it so far, I just haven't been making time to read, or just had time to read. The next book I'm reading on my Kindle on my phone instead of on my actual Kindle because of email problems that I had with the Kindle. Like, it's on, anyway, I'm not going to explain that, but anyway, This Is What You Just Put in Your Mouth by Patrick DeGiusto, which is, I got it for review, and it's like, I don't know, I wasn't gonna read it at first, but it caught my attention and I really wanted to, like, I was gonna go request another book for review, but then I like kept going back to that and I wanted to read it because I was really curious. And basically it just goes through a bunch of like food products and talks about what the ingredients mean, like, and explains them, and it's really interesting. It's extremely interesting to me, and I learned how cherry cordials are made, and I thought it was so cool. Like, I'm not that far. I think I'm like 14% of the way through it or something like that. Like, it's in the teens, but I think the humor in it is hilarious. I should save this for my wrap up, but the humor is great and I just really love it so far. Knowing how bad I did at actually reading the books on my TBR this past month, 2 of the rest of the books that I have were on last month's TBR, as was Crossed, but it's Catholicism Now I Get It by Claire Furious Smith, which, as I said last month, I don't remember where this book came from. I have no idea why I have it, but I do, so I'm going to read it. And then Student's Guide to Liberal Learning by James V. Shaw, S.G. And as I again said in last month's TBR, this was a textbook for my freshman year of college. We had to take a like intro class thing that was like to prepare us for college, and we got this book. And even though I'm a junior now and this is probably useless, I still want to read it because we didn't really do much with it in that class. So I kind of just want to read it because I have an obsessive need to read everything I own. And then this book is also from that class, and that's 101 Things to Do Before You Graduate by Patricia Hudick and Julian Gordon. We had this book for that class, and I think something we had to do for that class was choose one thing from this book and do it. I don't remember what I did from it, but other than that, I haven't looked in this book at all. Like, that's seriously all we used this book for, was just choosing one thing to do. And I really want to like look at it. And again, I'm in my 2nd semester of my junior year, and I'm going to be a 3-semester senior, so that gives me extra time, I guess, but I don't necessarily have a lot of time to do these things if I haven't done them. And I'm looking at the back and I haven't get business cards I did in high school, but study abroad is not going to probably happen. Buy your own domain name is something I want to do but haven't. And do your own taxes is terrifying, but that's on the back. So that's just some of the things that are on the back. But I'm going to read this. It may give me ideas to do things that I haven't thought about. I have thought about doing my own taxes, but like, that's never happened. But I want to know how to do my taxes because I have this really large fear that I'm going to have to do my taxes one day and I'm not going to know what I'm doing at all. Like, that's actually something I'm very scared of. So yeah, but anyway, I'm going to read that. Hopefully, at least I got to it before I graduated. See, that's the important thing. So yeah, I think that is all. Hopefully with spring break I'll be able to read all of these this month. We'll see, but I will see you guys later. Bye.